Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Maggie. Today I have another Disney video for you. I've noticed in the comments of my previous videos that I did that I have a lot of questions about fast passes and the overall fast pass system. So I figured I'd take some time to sit down and explain that to you while you might be planning your spring break or your summer vacations coming up. So we can dive right in. First of all, what is a fast pass? In case you're watching this video and maybe you've never been to Disney and you didn't even know you had questions about fast pass because you didn't know what they were, I put together a little definition to help you understand the concept of a fast pass to begin. So that is a pass for a particular attraction that allows you into an express line during a defined window of time. So that means that if you walk up to an attraction at any time, you're always eligible to get into what they call the standby line. But you're going to have to wait for whatever time is presented above the ride based on the number of people in the line. So for popular attractions, you can wait anywhere from, 2 to 3 hours sometimes. So it's really advantageous to try to snag a fast pass so that you can get in a separate line that allows you to zoom right up, but the catch is that you have to wait for like a very specific time period in order to be able to do that. And just so you know, Disney's formula for fast passes is written in such a way that they're supposed to make wait time somewhere around 10 minutes. So that means that fast passes are limited for certain time windows because they want to make sure that they're not overloading the fast pass line and making it as long as your normal standby queue. That's why fast passes are sometimes hard to come by for popular attractions because they only allow so many to be released per day per time slot. So who can use a fast pass? This is pretty much anybody with a park ticket. But here's the catch. Depending on where you stay as part of your Disney vacation, it dictates how early you can go in and reserve your fast passes. If you're staying on Disney property, then you can book your fast pass selections up to 60 days prior to your vacation. But let's say that you and your family decided not to stay on property for whatever reason. That means that you can book your fast passes up to 30 days in advance. So you can clearly see it's a little bit more advantageous from a fast pass perspective to stay on property, but at least having that valid park ticket at least 30 days in advance is an advantage in and of itself. Now, you can also get fast passes when you're in the parks, like day of. But because people are allowed to book 60 and 30 days in advance, you sort of have slim pickings, especially for those really popular attractions. You might not get the perfect timing. Like let's say you want to go and immediately ride Peter Pan. That always has a notoriously long wait time. So you might not get to do that right when you walk in the park, but you could end up getting a fast pass day of for maybe at 3 o'clock later that day. So how much do fast passes cost? Nothing. They're nothing extra. And this is something that really differentiates the Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure Express passes from Disney's fast pass system. At Disney, as long as you have a valid park ticket, you are eligible to get up to 3 fast passes ahead of your trip. And then once you get into the parks and you use up your 3, you can get 1 at a time after that. How the Universal Express Pass system works is you buy a park ticket and then you additionally buy an express pass. Rather than just getting, 3 attraction fast passes and then using 1 at a time, you have the express pass for all rides all day whenever you want. I had to stop myself right here because when I went to do research about the price of the Universal Express Pass, I saw that they actually have a new system now. So they have 2 different types of express passes. You have what they call the Unlimited Express Pass that allows you to skip the regular lines an unlimited number of times at participating rides and attractions each day that you have a ticket into the park. Now, it's important to note that they have only participating rides and attractions. It's not every ride and attraction. You can see here that the prices are $100 if you have a 2-park ticket, or if you only have a ticket to 1 park, it will cost you $90 for the park that you're entering. They have another option that's just called the Universal Express add-on ticket. This allows you to skip the regular line only 1 time per ride at participating rides. So if you have a 2-park ticket, it'll cost you $80 for the Express Pass, and if you have 1-park tickets into each park, it'll cost you $70 a piece. So you don't have to come back during a defined time window. So there are pros and cons to both parks' express pass or fast pass systems, but I just wanted to point that out there because I know that some people that may have visited Universal get confused with Disney's fast pass and how it works. Which leads me to my next point, and this is sort of the burning question: how does this work? How can you take advantage of the fast pass system in Disney? My best advice is to download the My Disney Experience app on your smartphone. This way you can pull up your fast pass reservation reservations within the app at all times. You can make sure that you're keeping track of that defined time window, but through this app, you also have the ability to make those additional reservations after you've used your initially booked 3 fast passes. So something that's really cool about the My Disney Experience app as well is that you not only can choose fast passes for yourself, but you can also choose fast passes for everyone in your party. So for instance, when Brian and I were going to Disney World together, we were able to log in and link our park tickets to one account so that when we wanted a fast pass, I could go in and book for both of us at one time. It wasn't like, you know, both of us sitting on our phones trying to get the same time slot. So that is really nice, especially if you have a family of 5 and you're worried about the timing and the system and making sure everybody gets the right reservation. That is really, really handy. In the setup process for the My Disney Experience app, I can walk you through the steps. There's actually a total of 6 when choosing your fast passes through the app. So the first step is to log in. So you need to create a login if you don't have one already. Then you go to Plan and Manage. Once you click Plan and Manage, it should have a drop-down menu. Choose Fast Pass. The third step is to choose a date. The fourth step is to choose the people. So this is when you go in and you link the tickets that I was just explaining, and then you choose your park. Some people might be like, well, if I have park hopper tickets, I don't know where I'm gonna go each day. That's totally fine. My best advice to you there is to use crowd maps. Now these are available in a wide variety of Disney forums, and these are extremely important to planning an efficient Disney vacation. I mentioned a time or two in my previous videos that these are not just relaxing vacations where you can go willy-nilly. Now I say that you can do that if you've been several times and you've seen everything that you want to see, but if this is your first time, I would do my best to do some serious planning just to make sure that you and your family have a good experience and feel like you walked away having done everything that you set out to do. So plan, plan, plan. Crowd maps will show you which days of the week have the lowest crowds in each park. They have some crowd maps that are also extremely advanced and show like morning times are usually really low on Wednesdays in Epcot, but at nighttime on Wednesdays at Epcot it's very crowded. So we suggest you go to Hollywood Studios, for instance. So they lay out the details, the research, they show you the charts and records and everything. It's very interesting. So definitely take advantage of crowd maps to figure out which days you're going to be at each park. That's how we did it, and that's how we were able to go ahead and book our 3 fast passes for every park before we ever even got to Orlando. As long as you have the My Disney Experience app with you, you can always change your fast passes. You can drop one, pick up a new one. They're not set in stone once you've made your selections, which is super nice. So after you choose your park, you're responsible for choosing your fast passes. Now here's another point that I feel like a lot of people don't know, and that is that there is a tiering system with Disney rides. So you have tier 1 rides, and these are the rides that are the most popular. Think right now in 2018, Pandora rides. Anything that's relatively new is most likely going to be a tier 1 ride or anything that's extremely popular. So because you're eligible to pick 3 total fast passes, you're only allowed to choose 1 tier 1 ride within your 3 selections. And that's just to give everybody an equal shot. You know, spread it out. Everybody gets at least 1 big ride in their fast pass selections, and then the rest are still great rides. They just might not be at the top of everybody's list. Like Pirates of the Caribbean is one of my absolute favorite rides ever, and it's a tier 2 ride. So don't think that like the quality is lower in tier 2, just think popularity at that time. So you have the ability to go in and choose 1 tier 1 ride and then 2 tier 2 rides. And don't forget, standby lines are always available, and just because it's a standby line does not mean that it's gonna have an hour wait. So you may get really lucky. After you use your 3 initial fast passes, you have the ability to go in and choose 1 additional fast pass at a time. The best method that we found is to finish your fast passes, and while you're in line for that 3rd ride, after you've already been scanned in, go ahead and book your next fast pass like as early as possible. We got better results once you pulled up the app, looked at your fast passes, and refreshed, because people are dropping and changing and moving fast passes all the time. So that means that there's a possibility that you can, you know, refresh, and maybe a ride that you've been waiting for is available at that second. Go ahead and book it. So our tip is always to refresh. We really got on a lot of good rides that way. And once you use your 3, you're not limited to what tier of rides you can do. They won't prevent you from getting additional tier 1 rides as long as they're available. It's just fair game at that point. So another common question asked is, can you go on a ride with a FastPass multiple times within the 1 hour time window that FastPasses are open? No. You can actually only go one time within that hour because that's how they're keeping the lines down to that 10 minutes. You know, they're saying we expect this number of people to come through this line during this hour. So it's all very formulated, and that's the only way that the system can work. So no, you cannot double ride within your hour. But another tip that we do, we always book Space Mountain early in the morning for a FastPass. So we get to the parks, we go really fast, we ride Space Mountain one time through the standby line while it's early, there's no line. You walk right onto the ride, and then you can get off and immediately use your FastPass. So then you've ridden the ride 2 times in a row, all before your day has hardly started. So that's a good tip from my dad. He gets all the credit for that one. So what if you have a park hopper? Can you do 3 FastPasses in one park, 3 FastPasses in another park, and so on and so forth all in one day? No. You can actually only reserve up to 3 FastPasses in advance per day. Don't think of FastPasses as a park system. Think of it as like a timing system. Once you've used up your 3 FastPasses in one park that day, if you park hop later that night, then you can keep using additional FastPasses, but it's going to be the one at a time within that park. Now, if you don't want to use the My Disney Experience app and maybe you just have the one-day park cards, they do have in-park kiosks that allow you to go in and book your FastPasses. They're sort of scattered all around the park, so definitely do your research and figure out which ones are, you know, the least crowded so that you're not standing in line waiting for FastPasses before you have to go stand in standby lines as well. So hopefully this quick rundown of Disney FastPasses was helpful for you. If you have any more questions over the process or Disney in general, leave them in the comments below and I can do my best to make more videos to help explain planning for Disney a little bit more. So if you like this video, then please like it, and if you want to stick around for more, subscribe. Join the community, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!